We have a Patreon.
Hatty, can you talk into the microphone, please?
Our Patreon is going to be called Much Love Babe. The space where basically we have a look at the problems or the bit muches that you've sent in, and we have a little discussion about them. It's where kind of, I think, we'll delve into our personal lives a little bit more and talk about our problems and just kind of
We might not even redact names.
We might not even redact names.
Shit tea.
Yeah, shit tea.
We love getting your DMs. Not all of them. But we love most of your DMs, and we love having the repartee. And this is a way of us formalizing said repartee, because you get to email us your stuff and what you think is a bit much, or if you think yourself you're being a bit much, or things are a bit much, and we get to talk to you about whether they are a bit much.
Subscribe to it for £3, £5 or £10 a month, and you get all the exclusive content. You get early access to our main episodes that will come out on Saturdays, and our Patreon exclusives will come out on Thursdays. The more our Patreon grows, the more kind of amazing stuff we will get to do. We can take Ben on the corridor.
Oh, we can take Ben on the corridor.
Your support so far has been absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And we just want to kind of give something back to you, but obviously only for money.
Feminism. See you on the Patreon.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bit Much Babe, a podcast by two girls who've typically been seen as a bit much, talking about things that we think are a bit much. And speaking of things that aren't a bit much, we're not going to do much of an intro, are we?
No, because we have got Dan Nightingale as our guest today, and we've already recorded it, and we just had the best time.
Great.
So rather than deny you of that absolute electric fire, we're just going to bring him straight in, aren't we?
We bloody are.
Yeah, so this is Bit Much Babe with guest Dan Nightingale.
And welcome back, and we're here with our very, very exciting guest. It's only bloody Dan Nightingale, isn't it? Hi. Hit all the cameras like the Oscars.
How are you guys?
Just so well, how are you?
Really well, thanks for having me.
It was silly.
No, thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming on.
I was worried I'd feel a tad overheated in my... I always have to wear a hat. I'm a constant hat fisher.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to wear a beanie.
I love
or whatever
that.
this is. And then I was like, it's going to be sweaty. It's going to be a small space. My God, what a performative space.
I know.
Thank you. The interpretive dancing starts at 8.
Yeah.
I can see it
Absolutely
as well.
does.
Yeah, my ribbons are in my bag.
Yeah, and
It's great.
also sometimes we get really lucky, don't we, Ben? And some models turn up right at the end for a shoot, and it's a real
interest.
highlight.
I've been married 8 years.
No, I know. You don't even see them, do you?
Ben
So-
goes
No,
to
thank you.
bits.
Thank you so much for having me. And,
Don't be daft.
I love it.
Absolute pleasure. No, it is freezing. It's actually quite good. It's actually warm today. This
that
is
heater is really pleasant.
when Louise was on. Louise Young,
God,
she
love
had to do press ups. She's a Geordie. She was absolutely beside herself.
She had to do press ups.
Yeah, she got
warm
up to
herself
press ups
up.
to warm herself up.
I
and then
think she was just trying to prove she was a lesbian.
She was.
Is that a lesbian thing?
Well,
we
I
assume.
think so.
Yeah.
That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah,
I
we
asked her.
assume.
She's a good egg,
yeah.
isn't she?
Oh,
I'm
I
glad that
love
you're
it.
doing this as well.
Well.
I love it when good eggs do good things.
Thanks. What's
We're
it
trying.
though?
And I got a free boss. I'm a bossy bitch.
Bossy bitch. Bossy
I got a free one
bitch.
because Kay left it at my gig in Darwin that we did together. And then my daughter found it and was like, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And like paraded it round the house. She was like, Mommy, wow, I'm a big girl now. And then she filled it with water and then she couldn't carry it.
Yeah.
Because she's only 7. She's
So
like,
funny.
damn, upper body.
Who
So now
thought
I use
that?
it for my pre-workout.
God, what a
So
guy,
in
what a
one of the more
guy.
masculine moves of my life, I pump pre-workout, not just for the gym, just for everyday
Just
life.
for every day.
Had some
Yeah.
today.
Every day's
Had
a workout.
Oh, stop.
Twitchy eye and 2 poos.
Stop
That's
it.
me on pre-workout. But I have it in a bossy bitch.
Bossy bitch. I love it. I love it.
I'm going to say
Absolutely
bossy
love it.
bitch. Or you
Yeah,
just
yeah,
wanna
we
say
do.
No, we say bossy bitch.
I gave one of them to my goddaughter for Christmas, and yeah, I had to just stop myself from calling her a bossy bitch. She's 10, but she is one. She is absolutely. She self-identifies as a bossy bitch.
You've got the manly one, haven't you? You've got the black one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's dead manly.
You've got the manly one.
dead manly.
manly
Dead
knees.
manly. Dead
Yeah.
Press
manly.
ups every
It
day.
really is. You can't stop him, this Ben. You
No,
cannot
you
stop
really
him
can't.
pumping iron any of the time. Now, Dan, you've been quite exceptional and messaged me today. And we're like, I have 11 a bit muches.
I
And I'm
cut one out.
Absolutely besotted.
I went through it for a second
did?
time. Well, because here's the thing. Having done a podcast for a while.
You do a podcast?
I have
Do you? Do you
I have
wanna
a
plug it?
podcast.
Yeah, if you want to plug it.
I'm not going to self-promotion. When people go, hey, this is the prep, this is the thing. And I knew the premise of the podcast. On point, good idea. But then you sort of like prefaced your message with like, this is what it is about, with like, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. And I know that comics will turn up going, what? I just came here.
Yeah.
I can't abide the thought of me being that guy. So
Bless
I wrote some
you.
down,
God,
and
you're
then it
just the
became
best,
excessive.
No, I love that.
Do you want me to just read them all out and we can pick your favourites?
Okay, yeah, let's do.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
I've got.
I've
Really
got, this
nice.
is in order of no priority to this.
Totally fine.
River Island self-service, 1. Chester Zoo, social anxiety, having kids, laser hair removal, small ugly dogs, my FYP on Insta, having Jehovah's for neighbours, cancer adverts, and sex. They're my, I think, 10.
I think we should
So
just put that
you wanna-
as the trailer.
Yeah, can that just that list as the
These
trailer?
are all a bit much. Every one of them. And I care for them in different ways.
I've got so many questions
love
about
this.
so many of them.
Who do you want to start with?
Just to say, cancer adverts don't make me want to have sex.
Cancer about sex. Yeah, cancer about
Usually, because they're not trying hard
Speak
enough.
for yourself. I want to go for.
Oh, is this what we do? Because you've already done a bit. Have you, in yours bit, you've done your bit? You've done yours
kind
bit.
of.
We don't really have. We just flow, don't we? We just flow.
This is the most God
just
podcast.
flow.
We just flow here.
We just like feel the vibes.
Yeah.
Well,
No, but this is
write everything down
but
in
this
an
is what I
order.
love because you do, and I know exactly what you mean. Because last week when I was very sweetly asked to cover for Vomi Adam Rowe with you, do you remember we did the executive orders?
Yes.
And it was when I went and I was like, damn it, I had such a good one, and I didn't write it down, and it's
So, but isn't that the thing with stand-up?
sucks, yeah.
Because I think I've written some of pretty all right stand-up in my time, and I have let loads fall through the crap of my sieve-like mind.
Yeah.
Where you're like, and it's usually the sort of hack thing to say is like, just, as you're falling to sleep, you think of something, you've got to write it down. But like all points of the day and night, something can pop in my head. And if I don't write it down,
exactly the
there
same.
is like a 60% chance that is gone forever into
exactly
the
the
abyss
same.
of my nonsense brain.
I know. Whereas now we have this list forever.
Yes,
I'm gonna
it will
frame
be
it.
available as merch.
Thank
Can
you.
we talk about? Or do you mind if we do River Island self-service?
Yes, I'd like to talk
Oh,
about
it would
River Island
satisfy
stuff.
my
Yeah.
OCD
I'm
if we
pretty
did
sure I
this in
know
order, by the way.
exactly the one you mean. This thing
one in
with the
town?
bins.
Guys,
Okay, good.
River Island, which now I am a 43, near 44-year-old man. I know.
Oh my God, stop.
And I'm a bossy bitch.
Yeah.
Never told to be a bossy bitch.
And I don't want to do what are these self-service checkouts like? But River Island are taking the piss.
Unbelievable.
They've taken it to a whole next level. First of all, and this isn't a bit much, babe, because I actually think it's a massive technological advancement. You take in your clothes, and this is in the boys bit as well. You take in the clothes. I took 2 T-shirts in.
It's very conservative of you. Very
I know,
good. Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Went in, put it on the little hooks. There is a computer screen. There's like an iPad on the wall, and it goes, hey, you've got that T-shirt in a large and that T-shirt in a medium, and this is information about the stuff you put on the hook in the thing. I don't know what you're meant to do with that. Because if you are surprised by the fact that they're 2 T-shirts, you're a fucking moron.
Yeah.
But how advanced is that?
I was going to say, but also, where do we stop? Like, are you going to walk in one day and they'll be like, you have chlamydia?
Yeah.
That would be great.
You know what I mean?
Give you your body fat percentage.
Yeah,
and
what
walk
if they're like,
in.
you should be in a bigger size?
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah. Okay, so you took it to the creepiest changing room I've ever heard. First of all.
What did you choose?
Yeah.
We're watching you. But then the self-service is, I suppose it's good, but is it? Because you go up, there's a bin who has the same sort of like, you don't beep anything, you just throw it in the bin.
Pop it in a bin.
And it goes, oh, it's those 2 things that you tried on over there. And then you have to do all the stuff yourself. Bags are there, but this is the kicker.
I know.
You take the security tags off yourself. I work at River Island now. I'm a part-time member of staff.
Exactly that.
At what point am I doing a fucking stock check for them? Oh, I don't
It's
need
going
to.
to fuck your tax up,
It's
that,
all
by the way.
computerized. Yeah.
Massively fuck your tax up.
Cash in hand.
Yeah.
Exactly. Also discuss, like, I'm not trained in taking the security tags off. Did you stab yourself in the hand?
I didn't stab myself in the hand. But I was doing it so gingerly
Because you don't
you just feel like, well, I'm
stab
going to
yourself
rip
in
a
the
hole in this
hand. Yeah.
T-shirt, and then the computer's going to tell me how much I owe them for the ripped T-shirt.
Couldn't agree more.
But no, it's and then it goes into a bucket. However, you don't have to throw the thing away. You can steal it, which I did.
Steal which?
The security lump.
Oh.
They
Do you
give-
keep them for a collection?
No.
Yeah, just-
So I on purpose made chitty chat. I was like, there was a member of staff coming past, and I was like, this is great. I'll befriend her because I know I want to steal the security tag. So I went, this is mad, isn't it? So futuristic. I was like, pretending I was like, oh, I don't know what to do.
Good cop.
And she was like, you're right with anything? Do you need help with anything? I was like, no, I'm self-sufficient. I'm on the payroll. So she was like, and I did it to the point where you were like, oh, he's being super friendly. I was like, oh my God, do you have to do anything? And she was like, I know, right? Fuck my life. And so I took the little security thing and put it in the bag. She watched me take the security out. It was also a very quiet Friday morning in Manchester, the Arndale Centre. So I paid, everything's gone right. I've not stolen any items of clothing, but this is, what do you call it, where you're like hiding in plain sight?
Yeah, I love this.
In my head, I was like, if I walk through the thing and it beeps and they go, oh, can I check your bag? They'll go, I've got the receipt, I've paid self-service. And they could go, one of the security little round things has fallen into your bag. But nothing happened. I went through the thing, the alarms went off, someone looked and went, oh, it's fine. She was in the vicinity, so no one came to check the bags. I now own a security tag that will go off at every shop. I'm keeping it in a safe place. And when me and Laura, my wife, my beautiful, lovely wife, when does this go out? The
Monday.
weekend. I've got to do it before Monday
Yeah.
because she might watch this. She will. I love you so much. I'm so sorry for what I did this weekend. I'm going to put it in her hoodie.
Oh my God, so
I'm going to
good.
put it in the hood of her hoodie. And she has social anxiety. That's on the list.
Oh my God.
We're going to walk around, hopefully Cheshire Oaks, maybe Chester, and she is going to set every alarm off.
Every single one.
And I'll be like, what is going on? Check the bags. This is great.
Is phenomenal.
That is
No
incredible.
wages needed, River Island. The joy.
That's
flawless.
amazing. Oh, and please do Cheshire Oaks, somewhere where it's really going to make her feel like a little
really
crim.
nice animal.
I'm a bossy bitch.
I have used to sell. I've just realised because I didn't think I had, because I don't
Zara
shop in
have
River
them as
Island
well.
because I'm poor. I don't shop in Zara. Why would I ever shop in Zara? My body type isn't this.
tiny little starving Spanish man. That's not what you want to look like.
Yeah, I don't have that. But I did it in
It was Kate
H&M.
Tracy, weren't we, when we were talking about the Zara
Yeah,
models, wasn't
yeah,
it? When
yeah.
they're all like I don't know if you've been on a Zara website recently, I was on the other day. It is hysterical at this point. Like all the models, they're not just like standing there modeling the clothes.
They're
They're
all
like
like-
drowning in water with one leg poking up like
Yeah, sexy Zara.
Look at me in
Why?
this pantsuit.
Well, I always say it wrong. Is
Oui,
it
j'adore.
it's haute couture or is it haute couture? It's haute couture.
haute couture, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but
that
you're like,
mean?
it's like super
So
silly
high.
fashion.
So high.
But you're like, Zara, that's not you, really.
No.
You're just,
That's not you,
you're
babe.
just posh Primark.
You're $34.99 tunic, you know, you can't be.
They are,
never
the clothes
find
are a
anything.
little, as a man with tits.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, a little, they're not
Wouldn't know
very
'em.
forgiving. I like River Island,
Yeah.
the regular shapes.
They're good, aren't they?
I'm in a medium, I'm like, look at me, I'm a real
Yeah.
boy. In Zara, I tried on a knitwear polo, like long sleeve, and it
Oh,
was
yeah.
basically a woolen
Dan.
starter bra.
Zara will give you bulimia straight off the bat. Like
Oh,
straight
massively. I
first
won't go
first
in.
visit, they'll be like, do you want this? And also some like healthy dose of bulimia. That's what they'll give you.
I don't like Zara.
No.
I don't think I've ever bought anything from River Island. Now I'm thinking about it.
Well, change that because they've got self-service bins.
yeah,
And it'll be like what we talked about with Brennan, and have experiences and now your staff. We were talking about when you get them
cocktail masterclasses.
there we go, stag and Hindus, and they're like, it's cocktail masterclass. He's like, why am I doing a job? I'm doing someone's job. Like, why am I?
Walk out. I don't work it.
Why am I doing
Can I pick this up?
Of course you can.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just
this
do.
is phenomenal.
Isn't it? We're just being.
A phenomenal goal for Davies in the 1944 FA Cup final.
It does. It feels like we're doing pirate radio. And I'm obsessed
It really
with it.
does.
I also completely.
There's a horse on the pitch.
No, I was saying, have I not told you this? When I was working in London and I went to the Brixton H&M,
Oh yeah.
I remember it so clearly.
Yeah.
And I
Is that
spent
this time round?
what?
As in working in London
Yes,
last year?
yeah. And I spent £80 in H&M. I've
hell.
never had that disposable income. I was thrilled with
I
myself.
don't think anyone's ever spent £80 in H&M.
I needed things.
Sure. Okay.
But then obviously I just started this new job in London. I was obviously the only Scouser there. And I did the self-service and then turned up to the Hippodrome Casino with all these posh people with the security tags still on my jacket. And I was like, oh, I've just fed into every single... And I had rollers in as well, actually, now I'm thinking about it. And I thought, I've fed into every single stereotype.
you nicked it.
Because and no one believes me when I was
Yeah,
like, no, I haven't nicked it. I couldn't use the self-service. I'm not a thief, I'm just thick. Like, there's a real difference. And then that became But the Wolfie Wardrobe Gale took it off for me and sewed the little jacket for the whole...
How did she
Lovely.
Oh, she just yanked it then.
Yeah, so we got tips. You get like a nail file and you can file it. So you pick it and
This
then
is
you
the
file
most
it.
scouse you've ever been.
I know.
In
so
the
you
shop.
file it.
What you think I'm doing now?
Coming from the changing
Should
room.
polo next
Can you imagine
everywhere.
the iPad's going, we can see what you're doing. Okay.
But yeah, you
People
file
come in
it.
here and you're a thief.
Well, there you go. Well. So the Maiden once from Home Bargain, didn't I? That was
you
hiding
did.
in plain sight. I just walked out with it. But it was an accident.
Say what you did.
With a Maiden.
What's this maiden?
A clothes horse. I don't know what you
right.
call it.
Close horse.
Yeah.
I sold an iron maiden. I had to time travel back to 1880.
She was like,
What Maiden?
you took a maiden.
You call it a Maiden, don't you?
No.
No.
I'd call it a close horse.
Clothes horse.
I think so.
Well, gang up on me again. Gang up on me again. It's fine. I'm not
Here we
bothered. Oh, they
go.
gang up on me. They did this little thing.
Not
They gang
all
up on me.
ever.
Oh, welcome to my world.
Yeah.
I'm the you. I'm you. I don't have a word.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah. I'm bold.
And I hope my career follows the same path, Dan. Because we did a big. It was when we first moved into the flat, and we did like a big shop. I couldn't think of the fucking word. And then I just had
Big
the
shot for maiden.
big shop for Maiden.
With all my surfs.
Big shot for maiden.
But I had it under my arm.
Yeah.
And the little woman, the great Home Street Home Bargain, shout out if you're watching, but you probably don't know how to work YouTube. She's, God love her, she's thick as anything. She's got one strand of blue hair. And that's her only
Fabulous.
discernible. Like, she's
I know the exact woman you're talking about.
exactly who it is. What?
That's so weird.
Well, he lives by me now, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, of course
Yeah,
you do.
Me and her are best mates now.
Yeah, she's God love her.
Tight.
And I just had the maiden under my arm. And she didn't ask for it, so I just walked out with it. Yeah.
They don't give a fuck,
Cheers.
do they?
But I won't steal from Home and Bargain now. Because they saved Zoe Place, didn't they?
Is it
TJ
home
Morris.
and bargain or home bargain?
It's Home Bargains, but it's actually called Home Bargains, but I call it Home and Bargain. I'm not getting into this
All
now.
Scousers
'cause
call it
this-
home and bargain.
Yeah.
It used to be.
And the Asda is the Asda, not Asda.
They
The
call
Asda.
themselves home bargains.
They do.
But Liverpool
Have
steadfastly
decided.
refuses to evolve with that. And
Right, yeah.
we
And I
respect
love that about you.
And also, they've saved Zoe's Place so they can do what the hell they want.
Yeah,
absolutely.
no
They can-
stealing from Home and Bargain anymore, guys.
Yeah,
I know
no.
we're all in the gang. If the gang's watching, don't steal from Home and Bargain anymore, guys. Don't steal.
fine.
I think if you were stealing from home bargains, you're already at a point where I don't think you can make moral decisions about where you steal from.
Yeah, I don't think Zoe's Place is going to change that.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we
Should
go.
though.
It should.
This is actually perfect because then it's going to segue perfectly onto social anxiety.
Oh yeah, social anxiety.
So you're going to finish your wife off with social anxiety this weekend. First off,
I'm going to finish.
Finish
That's
off.
not how social anxiety. God, there's so many people here I don't know. Maybe this is a bit more of a serious one, but it's a bit much, isn't it? I don't really have it. Although I think all people have social anxiety sometimes, but I just sort of is like, this is a cringy, awkward moment. But then if you get it all the time and it sort of cripples you in like social situations, it's pretty easy to identify as social anxiety. And
Yeah.
Laura, it's bad.
is it people or is it scenarios within socializing? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it made worse by large groups of people who are either familiar or unfamiliar to her or a certain type, or is it moments, like scenarios and circumstances that can arise in a social situation?
I think it's all of that. I think it's people that aren't within my wife's inner circle.
Yeah.
And then there are sort of pressure points
Yeah.
outside of that. Anyone in a work-based coming to do a quote wants to talk about the car mechanics situation. She gets like hyped up and stressed out, and it's all a fear of them coming round and having to either make small talk that she can't stand, or them going, how do you not know how fucking parquet flooring works? Like, which they never would.
Yeah.
It's catastrophizing things that might happen that probably will never happen.
Yeah.
So she gets that. Like, we had to have, because we're at the age now, we had a pensions advisor come in to talk to us. And we did it in the office in Liverpool. So she came in and we were going for lunch and we were going to have half an hour chat with this guy. And he was like, cool, I've got some things to show you on the laptop. And Laura sat next to me. We were in the Have a Word studio. And he went, it's not loading because I don't have the Wi-Fi. I went, I'll go and get it. And she went, no, I'll go and get it. And she doesn't know where it is. She doesn't know what it is. She doesn't know where to find it. So I stood up and went, I've got it. And she went, no, fine. And came with me outside of Studio One into the lobby, So I could take a picture of the little QR code or the little the password, and I went, "Have you just come to avoid talking to that guy?" She was like, "Yeah, absolutely." Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
So she's just got to take it. Today, she went for a gym induction, which is high social anxiety.
Yeah.
So
What, to be
she's
fair, that
meeting a
is.
lady who's going to talk around. So the gym aren't daft. They know that, you know, great. Gets there. This isn't a full induction. It's pure gym, where they're like, look, this is a building. That's some stuff. Just don't walk into something. It's not an advanced. Pure gym is basically, we're open 24/7. If there's a fire, sort yourself out.
Run.
That's how it works. There's no reception. There's no one anywhere.
No, you have the zap, don't you? Yeah.
So took her around onto one of the treadmills. She was like, so this will be the treadmills. And she was like, you got it? And Laura was like, yeah, I'll start on the treadmill. I'm going to just, so I don't feel awkward. And she was like, yeah, totally. She walked off, and then Laura couldn't work the treadmill, but then started getting stressed because she thought everyone was watching her not be able to use the treadmill. This is at 9:45 on a Tuesday morning. There's 4 people in this gym that can hold 300. She got so flustered by it that she instantly left the gym and came back, and she was like, I feel like I've been in a fight. My anxiety is so, like, she just her adrenaline spikes. And I sat there, and I feel bad about it, but I sat there and went, oh my God, this is it must be so rough. And the weird thing is, it all comes from a place of insecurity, but it manifests itself in her thinking everyone's looking at me and thinking I'm a Wally. But actually, it would be so much easier if she was like arrogant. Like, it's almost an arrogant thing to say everyone's looking at me and they care about me. But actually, if you were arrogant, you'd be like, I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks.
Yeah. So is ultimately, is the root of it being seen as stupid? Like, is it usually that's it? It's being seen as stupid, not
I
as
think so.
someone making you feel more, someone being rude or someone being kind. Is actually being thought of as stupid.
Being thought of as less than you are, I think, in general, whether that's stupid.
Yeah, just the pressure of maybe.
Yeah.
But then an awkward conversation. That we've all been in them where you're like, you know, when you're like, oh, that old conversation, like, oh my God, this is so dry. But that doesn't affect me.
No,
I just walk away and go, I make an excuse and go,
Yeah.
that was dry.
God.
But for her, she's like, oh my God, my adrenaline's up. I had to think about what to say. And you're like, yeah, that's a conversation.
Bless her.
In conversations, you have to think about what to say.
Yeah.
Everyone's sound.
Or not.
Everyone likes her.
Yeah.
She's very
I was going to say, she's not someone who people are like,
Here she comes.
Yeah. No character to back her up. Like zero. There's zero chance of that happening.
Every time there's even a hint of her coming on the podcast or being shown on camera, it's such a, I'm like, maybe we could, and she instantly shuts it down, because that is everything we've just talked about times 158,000.
Because then all these strangers are making that decision and you can't even see them. Okay, has she got, out of interest, has it ever got worse since your career has been having a lovely time the last few years?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit. But also, it is getting worse, but she also, this isn't like she's trapped and unhappy with it.
Yeah.
It's more of a like, God, I hate these situations, I'm just going to avoid them. And it means that because I'm quite social, and my job, the podcast and the gigs and everything, I am out of the house. And it's not one of those where, because we've got small kids, if there was an imbalance there and she was like, I'd like to come to all of this stuff, I'd like to be at every social event and on the podcast and on stage, then maybe she'd be like, fuck, who's looking after these kids?
Yeah.
But she's like, I want to do a thing irregularly. I want it in the diary to look forward to.
Yeah.
I want it on the calendar. So it balances out. But it does, because she gets recognised.
But that's what I was going to ask, because the spotlight effect, I was talking to my mate about it the other day, the spotlight effect is that thing of everyone's watching you. Like that thing of, you know, when you do something stupid, like you said, we all fucking do something stupid. Like when you do something stupid, or when you're trying something and you don't want people to see you fail, so you're embarrassed about looking like you're making an effort in case like all that is the spotlight effect, is the idea that everyone is watching you and being like, and no one is watching you. Yeah. Like, no one is watching you. Whoa. None of us are watching anyone ever, anything, because we're all doing this with our head.
But also, someone might be watching you, and they might go, you know what I mean? Like,
who cares what they think? But then my thinking is, the spotlight effect is like a psychological sort of phenomenon, like a notion that isn't true. Unless you're married to someone who, there kind of is a spotlight. Like the spotlight effect, the sort of fabricated notion of it being there is like, I do get it. And especially because Laura's a mother, that extra thing of, let's say she went and made a twat of herself in the gym. Let's say she did. Let's say she went in and the woman was like, that woman's just made a twat of herself. And someone else walks in and goes, I know who that woman is. So now she's a twat with an identity.
Yeah, she can't watch this
I
now.
was just about to say, if Laura's,
Laura, you can't.
if
You need
Laura's
to.
watching this, you're not helping.
Listen,
no,
you're
no.
absolute- just because you're right.
No, but
doesn't mean
no, but what I'm saying is I'm not right, but I can totally see why her mind would go there.
Yes.
Like I don't think anyone ever would, but I totally get why her mind would go there. I mean, I think I told you this. I did I found it, even the IVF stuff. This is going to sound insane. I found it with the IVF stuff. I went in for one of my appointments and was like, it's quite an intimate appointment. Like, it was pretty biggie. And I think I've spoken about this and the nurse went, oh, how's show's all going? And I was like, oh yeah, all great. And the other nurse came around and went, you opened for Mike Rice, didn't you? And I was like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah.
Is your funny out at this point?
But about to be all
I
that.
swear to God. So I haven't got a vagina. I've got to be recognised.
Thank you for
I'm gonna get
clarifying.
your fanny
We don't
out.
like to ask.
Dick or
but
vagina?
Yeah.
I'm at the end of the consultation.
Yeah. And then I'm
Legs
like,
closed. Good day to you.
I was like, so you're a Michael Rice fan? And she was like, oh yeah. I was like, cool. Was there another one we could get in? Like, this one's tapped. Like, but again,
Yeah, you're
she's-
into Mike.
Yeah, she
I don't
can't-
trust you to look
she
at my
can't
vagina.
Spell, but in that moment, I was like, nonetheless, I am here in a very vulnerable, intimate setting with someone recognizing me from my life outside.
She absolutely shouldn't have said that.
No, it's very
but like,
inappropriate.
Pro.
but
But
like
she's just got-
hilarious. It
Yeah.
was very funny. But what I'm saying is, I understand why Laura's brain goes there. It's wrong that it doesn't. It's so sad that it doesn't. She shouldn't, because no one ever would. But I get why.
Hey, she came out of the arena, which was a massive moment.
Yeah.
And she can't remember walking out. The level of
yeah.
strain that put on her.
Yeah.
She said, I at one point, they were helping me with the steps.
Yeah.
But if they hadn't have done, my legs stopped working.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have been able to get on stage. And she said, walking out, the lights, the 8,000 people and everyone cheering. And she can't remember it. It's gone. Like a PTSD thing of
Yeah.
gone, that was so much. I'm going to block that out.
Trauma
She's like, I know
blocking.
Yeah.
before. And it's gone.
That is
Mental.
amazing. Isn't that amazing when you have those stories, like how the spectrum of how humans are? Because for everyone, and there's a lot of people who'd feel the same as Laura on that. I know those people.
Oh, she did incredibly. I'm so like.
I
it was
bet
such
she
a cool
did,
moment.
and it must be so terrifying.
She looked amazing.
She did, I was there. She looked absolutely unbelievable.
banging.
She did. She looked amazing.
But then there's all that fucking narcissists running around being like, skunk a car.
yeah,
Do you
like
know
being
what I
fed
mean?
off it, like Tinkerbell who needs applause to live.
Yeah,
it
to be
is.
fair, I think that night pushed me to my absolute limit of what I can handle, because we didn't really prep. Like classic Adam, me and Carl. It's going to be sound. Where are we having the after
Yeah.
party? We didn't prep loads.
Yeah.
And then there was loads of hassle behind the scenes. Just before we started, there was a kickoff about where people were being seated. It built this tension. I was going out after just finishing a tour, didn't want to do any tour material. I basically went out in front of the biggest show of my life and did a combo of brand new bits, old bits, and it was weird. You know when you go to a new material and you're like, I'll work through some of these? I had to do that in front of 8,000 people without notes. I'd have loved to take a notepad out. It would have been better. And then the live podcast was amazing, and it built. And then the excitement of the fact it had gone so well, I started drinking. We were doing shots on stage. I went from like nervous to excited to podcasting to drunk to you come off stage and the adrenaline leaves you.
Yeah.
And then a mate of mine was being weird and got in my ear at the after party, just as I was starting to go, you know what, this is going to be class.
Yeah.
And I went, zoom. And so she had been through the ringer a bit going out on stage, and she
God
can't remember that
bless
bit.
her.
But my God, she turned up then. She went, right, we're going home. And I don't know. I don't know if you've heard. I like a night out. I went, I've never had less fight in me. I just went, yeah, okay. She went, come on.
But that's why the laws of the world are
Yeah.
the most
Jesus,
important
she's a
here
good
for
egg,
people,
you know.
because
But it's
there are
something
those
about
people.
balance. It balances. That
exactly
balances
that.
out. If you had a partner that was like, no, we're out.
It's the after party. Yeah.
I'd have ended
fucking
up
go.
in a fucking
You'd have been
ditch
in
that
a
night.
kettle, like completely.
100%.
Like, just
Do you want another?
Yes.
What should we do? Chester Zoo.
I'm with you. Completely and utterly with you.
But I like Chester Zoo. I just don't like the fucking gremlins that go. And I know I go to Chester Zoo, but I dislike immensely all the bellends that go. They're ruining my Chester Zoo.
Chester Zoo goes.
My Chester Zoo.
No,
Oh.
but like, you know when you go and you're like, this is beautiful and these creatures are amazing. The kids are having a great time. And some of it's brilliant, but it's the majestic animals that I feel most aware of the spanners around me. Like there's shitty animal. Like, do you know there's a domestic goat enclosure? I find every time we pass it, I think it's hilarious. I don't know if they just had a bit that they couldn't fill.
Well, like someone had a
And how
pet.
worried would you be about your small child if you went, oh my God, we're going to the zoo. Which animal are you most excited to see? And they were like, domestic goat. Like your little racist child, like British goats for British people.
It's that it's domestic. It's domestic. They're
I
like,
wonder if they had a surplus of space or a surplus of goats.
It does, doesn't it feel like Jeff that owns the
Do you know
zoo's
what I
gone,
mean?
I've got to stick these fucking goats
Gotta sit
somewhere.
them somewhere.
got
It's
goats
cost
at home.
They've
Yeah,
cost
They
me loads
ordered-
in goat storage.
They ordered loads of giraffes, and the fella went, "Here's some goats." They come with them.
They had
Like,
to,
do you know what I mean?
they had to
Like
pay for a
everyone.
nanny.
Yeah, he's very good. He's very good. Dan
I
Nightingale,
hate
everybody.
wordplay. Disgusting. It's the tigers, not the lions. By the way, everyone's like, "Oh, the lions are the best bit." They're not. I'm worried that the Chester Zoo lions are special. Have you heard them? Because my kid goes, they go rawr, and then you get there and they're like, I don't know. I honestly think they've been damaged in transit. Those lions.
Yeah.
It's when you get to the tigers, and that's at the very far, and it's like they're like the headliners of the zoo, I think. the
Okay,
tigers.
yeah.
And they're
That checks out.
beautiful, and they know it. They're like hot girls, like, oh my God, people are looking. But it's the way people are just like, and it's because there's glass. The enclosure's not fenced. It's like a huge, tall glass thing.
yeah.
And I saw this family, I think from the West Midlands, no offense, but I'm going to be a dick. They were like, where's the tigers? Where's the tigers? And the kid was banging on the glass going, where's the tigers? And I honestly, I had evil thoughts. I was like, God, I wish I had Harry Potter's power. Just
When the
fucking
glass disappears. Yeah. It's literally.
just absolutely fucking disappear the glass. And then I get it. Then we're all running.
Yeah.
But in my head, I back myself to be faster than that.
Well, you've got the head start because you made it happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I pick up me with
Yeah.
2 kids. Laura will have to just use some social anxiety. And fucking
Get her
take it.
adrenaline.
I can't carry all 3 of us. I'm almost sure. I'll pick up my kids and I back myself against the large family from Dudley.
100%.
Probably,
They're going first, aren't they?
Oh,
What a treat.
easy.
Be fed
Oh,
for a
it'd be
week.
Amazing.
God.
I honestly think
No.
about that nearly every time at the zoo.
I'm really
hate
glad you get
Chester
that. I've been driven to like real violent thoughts by similar like things when you're just like, why you? It's like bang. It's like, why you? Why do you have to be the person who the tiger has to respond to? Who the fuck are you?
As if the tigers were going,
do you see for
oh
the
my God, a
tiger?
large child
Oh my
from the West
God.
Midlands. Do.
I love that on Harry Potter.
Tigers.
Make it move with the snake. Make it move.
That's
Dudley.
Dudley, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
He's gone on to have a career, hasn't he?
Brilliant.
Having just watched Wolf Hall. I was watching Wolf Hall going, God, Risley. Did anyone watch it?
I've heard
not
of
the
it,
new
but
I'm a
series.
bit of a history dork.
They do it really well, don't
Oh,
they? the
it's
Wolf Halls?
unbelievably
Yeah.
well done. And Mark Rylance.
Yeah.
Oh my
He's
God,
the
I
best.
love
He's the
him.
fucking
It's
best.
so effortless.
do you know him as well?
I don't know him. I have met him. but I
Oh,
don't know
I've
him.
summered with him. Yeah, he was really good. And I was, you know, when you're like, who the fuck is that? Yeah. His eyes are dead close together. I was like,
Harry
I
Melling,
recognise him.
yeah.
Recognize those eyes.
Yeah.
Dudley.
He's brilliant. Harry
Dudley.
Harry went to Lambda after the Harry Potters, and then went into theatre after that. And he's
Really?
yeah,
Oh, he's proper.
he's propers.
Queen's Gambit.
Yeah. He's really very, very good.
Do you know him?
Not know him. We've crossed paths a few times just from like
Shout out.
back in the days.
Harry? Is he
but,
called Harry?
Harry, yeah, Harry Melling, yeah.
Oh, Harry.
He is
Make
fucking
it
brilliant.
move.
He is a brilliant actor.
He was
Yeah.
phenomenal in that. Neville Longbottom's fit now as well. Matthew Lewis.
Oh yeah, he had, didn't he?
He's beautiful. He put his arm around me once when I was working at the Empire.
Stop, babe,
Shot back out, yeah. He put his arm around me and I thanked him for saving the Wisdom World.
He got his kegs off, didn't he? Yeah.
You're very welcome.
I thanked real life human Matthew Lewis for saving the
So
Wisdom
you
World.
should. I don't think enough
wasn't even
people
drunk.
do. No, I believe that.
Oh, I
was just
can't
an
wait for my
absolute
kids to be old enough to deal with Dementors.
Yeah.
Because
Dementor,
we are
Dementor.
stuck. Basically, this is what
Yeah,
we can
yeah.
watch. We can watch all the Philosopher's Stone. Everyone's having a great time.
Yeah.
I've watched that film, I honestly think 192 times.
Yeah.
And then we can do Chamber of Secrets until the Basilisk,
Yeah.
and then it's too scary.
Sure.
Can't watch Azkaban because
No, you
the
can't.
Dementors are in really early, and I get it. To small children, that's the scariest thing ever. That is a
yeah.
floating nightmare
Yeah.
that sucks the life out of you.
It's
Also,
also,
they might get-
unless it's a bigger conversation, doesn't it? It's like when I sat down with Imi to watch Coco, and I sort of, have you seen Coco?
Many a time.
I love it. I love Coco, but I suddenly realised we sat down and I was like, oh God, we're going to have to explain death. Like, you know, you're like, oh, we've got to do death.
Oh, really? How old at that point?
I think Amy was 5.5.
Okay, yeah, right, okay.
So I was a bit like, oh gosh, we do have to explain Dias de los Muertes.
Yeah, well, I've had to explain
underworld.
my atheism. And,
very good.
I'm pretending to be a devout Christian for my children
It's
for
just
the next
easy,
5,
that
6
though,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah. Where's
Yeah.
everyone that you care about that's not here? In a happy place in Fluffy Town.
Yeah, too right. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
when I try to broach, this is it, enjoy it, death is final. Oh, it ended with this from my crying daughter. I don't want to be in the ground. There you go.
But it's fine. She just
And
got
that was the
cremated.
end of that.
Then you watch Coco
Did you
to
give
say
her
you
the
won't.
offer of cremation?
What?
You should have just told
Oh,
her she
yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
cremated.
Don't worry
That's
about it,
absolutely
babe. We'll
ridiculous.
burn you.
We'll burn you.
Yeah, you've got a solution.
Burn you.
She's
And
come.
where-
She's come with a problem. You give her a solution.
Oh, it's scary being underground.
Yeah.
What about fire? and then we'll put you on the mantelpiece.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Well, tell us you're going to Mexico to have a face paint and have a lovely time instead.
Yeah.
Do you know?
It's actually on the topic of kids. My a bit much I would like to discuss because obviously you do have children.
Yeah. One of
Um,
my a bit much is having kids.
Yeah,
So
and
far.
and you obviously want children. Obviously, I would rather shoot myself in the face.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
And it was proven this. I took Molly to soft play
Molly's
on
her
Saturday.
goddaughter who sometimes likes Kay and sometimes really doesn't like Kay.
She
I'm
manipulates
such a drug
me.
addict that in my head ketamine popped into my head.
Because
then.
of Molly.
God, she's yeah.
So I took.
She's sometimes like Kay, but usually just on a weekend.
Yeah.
So
No,
she has
she
named
doesn't-
perfectly, actually.
She's not. She's 3 years old and she runs rings around me because she's incredibly manipulative. I respect it a lot. But I
It's a
took
good sign.
Oh, she's so clever, man,
Yeah.
and she knows how to make me cry. It's amazing.
great.
She actually doesn't know who I am in big groups of people. Like I'll walk in and they'll be like, "Oh, who's here?" And it's only when like other family members are there to make it look like she doesn't know me. And she goes, "Auntie Jojo," knowing, and then she'll go dead quietly, "It's Kay," like dead quietly.
She needs this cut, man.
She is
Bossy bitch.
absolutely.
bossy
But I
bitch.
took her to soft play on Saturday.
Oh, that multicoloured nightmare.
That is a hell
yeah, babe, it
on
is.
earth. Like imagine me as well.
Babe,
I
you-
imagine that's tough for anyone, but me who has absolutely no empathy for children. Like if I know the child and they've been signed off, then fine. But it's some little boy, some very small boy, threw a big plastic ball at my face,
Yeah.
and it hit me right
No,
here.
they do that, yeah.
And apparently you're not allowed to drop kick children.
No.
No,
They're pretty
that's
clear
what
on that,
Google
though.
says.
Yeah.
In front of the cameras.
In front of the cameras.
Yeah.
So I just had to stand there and like make fists with my
Yeah.
hands, and I was like, I was. What, where was that kid's guardian or I was watching Molly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I also watched Molly march over to the swings and say to this small child on the swings near mum, "Okay, my turn." And I was like, oh my God, she's going to get hit. She's going to get absolutely hit. So, yeah, so I had to deal with that. Then I had a cup of tea that was shit and I paid
Yeah.
£3.50
They're
for the
always
fucking
bad.
pleasure.
Absolutely awful. Try the pizza. Ooh.
My socks were rotten.
Oh.
I was very upset by that.
Oh,
Molly
that's a manky one.
Molly just decided that she didn't actually want to be in the soft play. She just wanted to walk all of the perimeters outside it and just look. She didn't actually want to go in. So again, paid money for her to just stand and look. So that was an absolute waste
Yeah.
of money. And it was just hell. It was hell. It was hell. It was all hell. And not one fit dad.
No.
Oh, hungover dads make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
Only if you're not one of them. But I have been hungover at soft play. But when you go fresh faced and you haven't drunk the night before, sitting there and watching a dad they're so noisy, especially if the kids are small, because you can let them go maybe, but you have to watch it.
You're on.
Hearing a hungover dad try and work out if they scream and it's never from the front of the soft, like
No, it's
always
right
at the
in
back.
depth.
Ball pit. Yeah,
so
yeah,
it just
yeah.
becomes this like soft play Saving Private Ryan situation where
Yeah.
some shabby, like booze stinking hungover dad has to go and save a child. Oh, I love it.
And they get stuck. Have you ever had it when the kids they're stuck, like they are screaming and they're like stuck between those like twirly whirly things and they're like this
Yeah.
and you're like you're like, oh my God, and crawling through the thing, be like, oh, just like it's like Saving Private
It
Ryan.
is.
Be like,
I saw a mum get stuck.
Oh, it's awful.
In between two soft play
Yeah,
roller
the
things.
roll- that's what I mean,
You
the
know,
rollers.
like a car wash.
They go-
and
Yeah,
she
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Oh my God, she was like one tit this way. Oh, it was phenomenal.
so
I
awful.
saw a child. You've got like the netting.
Yeah.
So a birthday party, it was a hot birthday party, and a birthday one of the kids from the birthday party was coming in, and all the girls got really, they were all like, oh my God, seriously, oh my God. And I watched one of the kids, I shit you not, jump on the netting, hands and feet clinging onto the netting, and she was just going, she got so excited. She was, and I was literally watching her.
Fucking Mexican prison.
Literally that. Like she was clawing her way out, and they were like, Sarah, Sarah. And they were all going mental. Sarah had a tiara on, so I'm assuming she was important.
Yeah.
She looked like a twat. But
She must.
and I was just watching it, I was like, this is hell. And I was doing that thing as you do when I was sat there and I was thinking, maybe if I watch something, maybe something funny will happen and I can make a note, you know, this could be beneficial. No, nothing. It was just all sadness. No one was smiling. No one was happy. It was just a very depressing state. And then I heard some woman go, oh, it absolutely smells of piss in there. But to be honest, I don't know whether that's her or me. And I was like, I need to leave.
So Laura's there. Sexy.
And I don't listen, I like where I live. Don't get me wrong. I do. I like where I live. Is it a bit rough? Yeah, it is. But that was one of them moments where I was like, I really want to do well in life. I want to get out of here.
I want to go to a nice soft
I
play.
want to go out.
Do you know the best soft play ever, though? In the lockdowns, Etta turned 2021. She would have turned 4.
Okay.
And some fans of the podcast, I think they're called Connor and Tash. And I'm not going to say the name of the soft play, but basically their mum runs a soft play. And in the February of that lockdown, they were like, listen, it's just us. We've got the keys. So it's just going to be us there. We can socially distance if you want. We'll open the soft play for Etta's birthday.
Stop.
And this was a month later, I turned 40 and we had my 40th in the car park of a Five Guys. We just had a cheeseburger because it was lockdown and we weren't taking the piss. I wasn't.
Very good of you.
We weren't going to other people's houses. We were doing this, but we were like, fuck it.
Yeah.
We're
too
going.
right.
And we saved Etta's 4th birthday and we had the run of this gaff. Oh, it was so good.
She must have been beside herself.
Again, like the zoo. Imagine if you just went on your own. It was.
No,
we got
still
our
don't like the
own
zoo.
private soft play. It was brilliant, and I was like running around. I had a
it's the
great time.
best. It is that's what you
But
want.
that's fine because there'd be no one else there.
No, but it's like that saying,
It was the fact
isn't
that
it?
there were
was
other
my
children
piss.
around me.
Yeah,
It was
he
Yeah.
knew it was his
Yeah,
piss.
you know whose
it's
piss
when
it
you
is.
know.
You know whose piss it is. I just want to know whose piss it is. That's it. That's all I'm asking in
Oh,
life.
and they sweat. The kids sweat. They come out just like moist and clammy.
red-
and you're like,
all red
oh,
face.
God.
Can I do
no.
my having kids?
Yes.
Because it's a bit much.
Go on.
And I I love being a dad. I had the awful realization recently that when people are like, oh God, it's brilliant being a parent, isn't it? You're like, yeah, but I think I'm mainly in it, so I'm definitely a grandparent because I think that's going to be a phenomenal payoff.
Yeah.
When you don't have to pay for them and they're not there all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. It's
Just hold
great.
them and give them back.
My 3.5-year-old is yesterday cried at nursery. This is after a weekend where I gigged in Manchester. So I was there all of Saturday morning. We went to the park. We went into town. We had a really nice time. 3 or 4 hours, pastries. Oh, what a good time. Sunday morning, I took them swimming on my own like a fucking hero. Right? And then I was home all day. Yesterday at nursery, he cried because Daddy's been away too much. So thanks, Laura, for telling me that because that's hit me. So she told me that yesterday and she was like, as soon as I went, she saw my face go and she went, I shouldn't have told you that. Don't worry. So I went to bed going, oh, you're a bad dad. Oh, God, you're a bad dad. And then in the morning, this morning, she went, could you get him dressed? And I was like, of course I want to make that connection. I went up with his clothes. I was like, Jack, it's time to get dressed. And he went, go away, Daddy. I don't want to get dressed and I don't want you near me. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You gaslighting 3-year-old piece of shit. I'm all over the shop. I literally went to bed going, God, I know you need to do everything in stand-up and you need to do the podcast, but you've got to be making more time. In the morning, she's like, this is a hate crime. Go away from me.
Kids, newsflash,
They're evil.
Kids lie. Kids lie.
They lie all the time.
They are unbelievable. My mum had this, although there are the kids who absolutely don't, and they are, priceless. Like the ones who just have no
filter.
You know, the ones who well, mummy, because when mummy shouts at daddy and then sometimes daddy cries and you're like, this is absolutely fantastic. Like there's absolutely those kids.
Future podcaster.
Yeah.
I know. My mum had this theory that, because I went to my little hoity-toity West London school, but my dad was still playing rugby at the time and as a proud northerner, and And so our weekends was thank you, Kay. And our weekends were slightly different from that. No, I don't. I have a tall dad. She's confused. And
how bad is it? I want to see a picture. I want to see a picture of Hatty's dad to be like, what?
I've got mine left, so obviously I think they're all fit.
Exactly, I know. Yeah, just yeah, way to bomb it out. But yeah, see, you're there. See, she was okay to go in and be like.
Mine dad actually did leave. Yeah, and we didn't have a nice house, so he wasn't a successful
or a
comedian.
soft play on her 4th birthday, so don't worry about it. But my mum had this theory that on Monday morning when they go in and they ask you what you did for your weekend, she's like, I'm absolutely convinced it's like social services check-in. They're just being like, so children, what fun things did we get up to on the weekends? She's like, we went in your kindergarten and every single Monday we went to the pub. She was like, we did other stuff. We did other things. Yeah. Every Monday morning, all you have written down is we went to the pub.
Was that you?
Yeah.
I love it.
And my mum was like, we did swimming, and we did this. And yes, we went to the pub at some point to pick her father up, to scrape him off the floor and put him in the car.
I love that your mum as well was like, you know what, I'm going to put a fix to this. We're going to do everything else but the pub. But she was like, but I can't stop going to the pub.
We're going to go to the pub.
Obviously we're going to the pub.
Obviously we're going to the pub. Those of Sundays. And like, it was every Monday. They just kept flicking and it was like, and we went to the pub.
There's so many moments with kids that are taxing. I listen to a lot of hip hop. I'm a lot, and what happens is
I'll sip it from your bossy bottle.
Yeah,
motherfucker, work.
Hip hop, but also hydrate.
And as soon as you have children that can talk, you realise one of your favourite genres of music has a lot of the N-word in it. And it's a song that I want to point out exclusively by black people because and I have managed to skip songs, turn it off. So the Spotify DJ when it's like, "Hey Dan, what's going?" I listen to it all the time. It's because the algorithm gets you.
Yeah.
So I know it's a bit cheesy that you've got a fucking AI DJ going, "Hey Dan, what's happening? We've got some tunes for you. I'm gonna start it off with some shit," and it's nearly like 2/3 of it's hip hop. And I've already done it. That like she's about to turn 8, my daughter, and she is at some point gonna go, "Daddy, what's that word that they keep saying?" And I will have to drive us off a cliff. Just to not deal with it.
Absolutely.
I think that is the best option.
Absolutely. That
is probably the best option.
That's the only option. God, yeah.
Social services did an investigation into my mum.
Oh, yeah.
On that note, this is quite silly and again completely sums me up.
Yeah.
I've broken a lot of bones.
Sounds like a sad story.
No, it's not a sad story. But the thing with...
Was that time you fell off the chair?
That's how I fell off the chair. Yeah, and the other countless times. And because I was in Alder Hey that much, they said they had to do to call my mum in. And
on the third bone break, questions are being asked.
But I have never seen my mum that angry in my life. And I remember her coming home and going, how do I explain to them that I'm not hitting her? She's just a fucking moron. And I was just...
Not like that, Barbara. Not like that.
Because I used to I broke my ankle because I fell over my own feet. That's a true story in year 1 in the playground. Like I was just
and that is the child equivalent of I fell down the stairs.
I was just that kid that just used to climb off things and people would be like, jump, and I go, and then I jump, because I love to crowd. Yeah. They think it, and my mum was like, I don't know how I can explain that she's just an absolute idiot and can't just walk like a normal human being.
Do they just accept that? Are they just like, okay, I guess?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there was anything. I think, I don't know. Well, I don't know.
I think it would be a more rigorous process now. Like back in the day, they were like,
I think when they said I think they just had a conversation with her and then obviously saw me and thought, oh no, she is just actually a little bit thick.
And then you walked in and just went,
God love her.
I fell over in the playground once and didn't put my hands out. And genuinely, I think I'd have been tested for all sorts of autism now. I sort of remember it. Yeah. And the head teacher called my parents in and was like, we're worried about Daniel because he didn't break his fall with his hands. I tripped and went.
But
they were like, this kid's not doing all right.
I've done that and broke my wrist doing that. That's how I've broken my wrist, because I put my arms out to stop myself. I've done it, selling in the story.
You nailed it.
How many bones have you got a number on it?
Okay, hang on, I have to do this.
Were you doing rallycross as a child?
Just an idiot. So hang on, where am I? Left. So
I love that with this.
Oh, audio listeners,
yes.
You missed a treat there.
Yeah. She's going through the skeleton.
So left ankle I've fractured once, right ankle twice. So this wrist twice, this wrist. What did I say then?
Once, twice.
Okay, so once, twice, fractured.
So
this is true. Yeah.
Yes.
I've pulled my arm out my socket. Oh, I've broken all my toes.
No, you've not.
Genuinely true.
No,
All
you've
my
not.
toes at some point. Yeah.
No, what-
fractures, not like foot, like fractures.
All at the same time?
No, I wish it would
I
have been less
cannot even
weird.
conceive of an accident where you'd break all your toes.
No,
at
I
once.
can't conceive an accident where you only break one, like the middle one. Was there an accident where you just broke the middle one on your left or something?
No, I think if I
what-
remember correctly, so these are all when I was like a kid. So like, actually, funny enough, soft play. It was in the Hungry Horse in Rill. The Hungry Horse in Rill. What? the soft play in the Hungry Horse in Rill.
It wasn't in a pair of shoes, was it? I can only get these in a UK 3. I'm a UK 5. Crunch! It's happened again.
No,
She does that though.
I had my shoes off. It was a soft play. Don't be silly. I had my shoes
Right.
off.
Wasn't that soft?
No, it wasn't.
Jesus
Gosh, my
Christ.
feet. What else have I done? The most recent one was I tore the fifth metatarsal in my foot because I fell off a curb.
And Mr.
And
World
this
Cup.
was in uni.
I was going to say, this is some
I did. I
absolute
thought I'm never
shit.
going to play in Wembley, and I said that to the doctor. He just looked at me. I was devastated. What else? I pulled my arm out.
You're holding your martini.
I could have been a professional if I wasn't with this knee injury. I pulled my arm out my socket. I've split my head open. My mum thinks I've broken my nose, but I don't think that's true because you
No,
can't
it's
really feel
lovely.
it. But I think she
Yeah.
just likes to, hurt me. Not physically. The social
Yeah,
services are
Jesus.
right.
Yeah, you're not out the woods quite yet.
Yeah, I've done it all. Yeah.
Christ.
What a life, man.
And you know, at the end of all that, I just feel sorry for your mum.
Yeah, you should. You should. They
She's
they
got
spent a lot of
Mr. Bump as a child.
That was, and it was all from stupid shit.
Oh my
None of them
God.
were like, I danced as a kid. None of it was like dancing. It was literally just.
Were you that kid who went out in a helmet?
She wouldn't buy a helmet. Fuck off. Like she fucking
She's
buy
broken
a-
every bone in her body, but she'll look like a fucking wall.
Sorry, Dad, I steamrolled you there.
Well, how long have we done? I'm having such a good time.
I'm just letting it run. We've done about 55 minutes.
Great,
Is that fine? Is that all right?
I love this.
Laser hair removal.
I'm so glad we're doing
I'm
this.
having my back lasered.
Yep.
Why? I don't know. They cleverly make you pay for 10 sessions up front, so then you can't change your mind because I would have.
Does it hurt?
Dad,
Yeah, it scratches. So many little nippy scratches. And then, like, also I'm like, why the fuck? Why have I as a bald man, not being able to grow hair on your head, and then I've done this on the podcast recently, but I have a hair coming out the side of my penis.
Yeah.
What's going on? And this is why I truly think there is no Jesus. But I find it really, I dislike my back hair so much. Like, I can put up with a lot of this weird stuff. Like ears and nose, this is excessive. No head, where you'd like it, but the back really freaks me out. And Laura had, for Christmas, she got a as a present, full body dolphin, the biff, the
Yeah.
pits, the lot. That's not what they brand it as.
No, but they
Biff and
should.
pits.
That's a lot.
To Barry's laser hair.
They do that out of a soft play.
Back room at soft play.
So she was like, it's good. I was
Yeah.
like, does it hurt? She was like, she lied. No,
IPL, it's laser, not wax.
it's laser.
She's lasered, okay.
So I'm on session 5. They're meant to be every 5 weeks. I've started in February. I've eked it out because I find it unpleasant. Also, the woman who does it she's a lady in Chester, and she's so nice and she's so friendly. But she is, do you know one of those people that where you're like, if you got a life story from someone, what do you think? That'd take 6 or 7 hours. Bet you could she could do it in an Edinburgh show. Like she could, honestly, I haven't seen her for 2 months of this bit, and she's like, cool, I've got to let him know everything that's going on.
she
And she
must.
does this in 20 minutes.
Oh,
It's, if it turned out she was on crystal meth, I wouldn't be surprised. It's like she's done 2 massive lines of coke and then gone, bring him in, let's get his fucking hairy back out. And I find it all, they put a fucking slimy thing on your back. The whole thing is very unpleasant. For what? For why?
Well, can I ask you something? And I really don't want to shit on your day at all. Now, and I'm just spreading rumours. I'm just telling you things I've
But it
heard.
doesn't work.
No. Laura has very dark hair. Like she's dark haired, isn't she?
Yeah, I already know where this is going. And I
I-
dislike it.
You have a little bit of ginger in your beard.
Yeah.
And you have a little ginger son. Laser doesn't work on ginger hair.
Right, cool. End of podcast.
Sorry, I just.
There's two layers to this. You just said I had ginger back hair.
No, I
which-
don't know that you do. I'm
I don't
just
have.
saying, and you don't have to tell me.
And the thing is, I don't know because I've never seen
But you've
it.
never seen it. That's the point. But if
You
I
shouldn't
know,
presume people's hair
I know
colour, by the
I am
way.
not
It's
able to
2025.
get laser.
What is it?
Because I am ginger. Yeah.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, because the laser attaches to the pigment, and that's what lasers it off. That's what the thing is. But when you have you have a pigment. Also, ginger hair will always grow back.
God wants you to be ginger so much you can't even.
I know everything. I know. But listen,
What a
I might be
waste
wrong.
of fucking money.
No, I might be wrong. I really don't want to shit on your day because I actually I'm really excited for you, Dan.
Absolutely valid. It's a stupid thing to have
Is it
done.
very expensive?
That's just £1,000 for 10 sessions.
Oh, shit, okay.
Astronomical. I don't even know. I didn't even go. You can't go compare. But it probably is cheaper. But it's Barry's hair laser.
Don't get a Biff and Pits.
Get your ginger back out. It'll be fine.
Just one of them laser pens.
It's just got a Flymo on it. Lie down on the lawn.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
You know, you said you got Laura for Christmas. Did she ask?
Yes.
Okay.
What? You're absolutely good question. Because that is not an acceptable
No, because I know
surprise.
this has happened to a friend of mine. That's why I asked. It's genuinely happened to a friend of mine.
He got her a full.
They're not together anymore, obviously.
No.
She's taken a bald biff elsewhere.
Yeah, he did. He got it for her and said, "Merry Christmas. This is essentially what I want you to do." Could you imagine?
They are
Imagine?
out here, man.
No one wants to,
out here.
you know.
And I mean, she did it. You know,
she did. It was
'cause
free,
It was
yeah.
free. Yeah, of course, I can do anything.
Apparently,
But
it does, yeah. So Laura's had some success, and she thinks my back is less hairy.
Then great.
But it's just not been worth it. And I said I don't get social anxiety. I do get a little bit. When you have to get your, you have to get your boobies out, and she's telling you everything about her life, and it's all very exciting. I could, I've got to finish though, haven't I?
We have to.
And she's obviously very good at what she does. I just regret
She would also
being
say,
part of this.
like, she'd be like, I'm sure if you were like, if she looked at your back and was like, that hair isn't going to take to it, she would say.
no,
so,
apparently it is working.
well, that's great.
yeah,
Then I
yeah.
start
Maybe it'll
feeling
grow
really
back more
grateful.
ginger.
Oh my god, fantastic!
Oh, that'd be nice. Like back with a vengeance.
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
like Fat Bastard in Mike Myers, was he all ginger, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That's something to look forward to. Hey, that could be for your next tour, just in time. to go on the road.
£1,000.
I might look at getting laser when
Good.
I've got money.
Yeah, you could do that.
I could.
but
I'm
therapy
dark.
first. But
Therapy first,
so-
yes.
You could get
Obviously.
sponsored, hey, by a laser removal company, surely. The demo, the demograph.
Yeah, surely.
I see your fans as very hairy biffed.
They must be. They must.
I'd love to get lasered.
Sorry, everyone.
Do you know what our fans at the minute are mostly men?
Going off my DMs today, I disagree.
What,
Because I
did you
said,
get Gaelic
I said,
DMs?
bottle.
guess
Yeah.
which podcast I'm recording today, and I'd say I got about 20 messages where people go, I want to play the game.
Oh.
Is it a bit much better? Yeah, it is.
I love our girls.
And it was 3/4 ladies. So unless blokes don't want to, I mean, that's not definite data, is it? But unless the
No.
blokes don't want to admit that they're listening.
Yeah.
So maybe you've got just a load of...
like secret Tories.
I had a lad come over to me the other day.
You had a lad,
Go on.
what,
Come
Colin?
over to me in work the other day when Tony's show was on. Someone came over and went, "Oh, listen to the podcast," and I think it
Well,
was
good.
Can I ask a question? Was he fit?
no.
Oh, no, that's
He had a
cool.
very hairy vagina as well.
Yeah.
This is now going to be the number one thing we ask them.
Hey, shout out though. Good comedy's for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly. And we're dead
How
funny.
much is a turkey hair transplant?
Why, do you want me to get you one for your birthday next year?
Do you want to get sponsored by them?
I think I've got about 2 years left. I think
Do you
I've got about
think?
2 years left. in there.
generous.
Thank you. Mate. I'm nervous. I feel
Would you
like
do it? Would you do the turkey transplant?
I don't know, just because of like who my mates are and the amount of shit I'd get. For
Hey,
it.
but you'll
Well, you
have to take it for a while, and then they'll get bored of it.
Callum would be horrible. Callum would be
Oh, because he is horrible.
I went to play darts with him yesterday, and every time I went to throw, he just kicks me in the leg.
You just get bullied.
Callum Oakley? Awful boy.
Dad, this is what I was saying about male friendships. It's just bullying. You're just horrid.
God, do you know how absolutely horrified I'd be? It's some mates, so I've got some pretty sensitive, pals. But if some of my mates, and I'm thinking of one in particular, went, "Hey, what's going on with you?" I'd be like, "Ew, what are you doing? Kick me or something."
Yeah.
It'd be very
Don't
unnerving.
let any of them boys judge any of your decision making, please.
Ben, also,
Imagine Kyle if I got a hair transplant.
Oh, we can.
he needs a fucking
Yeah.
head
Does, doesn't
transplant.
he? Yeah, that's true.
By the way, he you've got to do it now, because if you leave it too late,
You're too bold.
True.
it's too.
You'll be like those American football players in those ads where they're like, it starts here.
They told me I'm too bald for one.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
But you really suit it. You've got a great shaped head.
I've got a nice hats as well.
And lovely hats.
And a ginger
I
hairy
think
back.
you suit it. I think you really suit it.
Have you seen the toupees that are like good? Like the
What?
good toupees?
No, so I'd be into that.
Did you? The two pairs that go like in the wind.
Just for to do it once.
Just to
Maybe
see.
on a Patreon special I would, but they're a few £100s and they're glued on with like unicorn ears and they stay. But like it's proper.
Some of them look
But
really
the
good.
thing is, unless you are going to commit to that forever,
yeah.
it's just one day pretending that you're living in a parallel universe where you're a beautiful fringed man. And I don't know if I could go back.
I know.
Yeah, that's
I
the
think,
thing.
yeah.
And what colour would you go for?
I'd go for ginger. I'd just shave it off
Would
my
ya?
back and glue it on.
Perfect. Economic. I love this. I
That'd be nice.
love this. Were you ginger before?
No, I was blonde.
You had
but
recessive.
my granddad had a ginger. Like, yeah, it's just a gingery
yeah.
little bit.
My parents like
My
that.
mum had the exact same hair colour as you, and basically that's Jack's hair colour.
Yeah.
So you know you've got like the woof, like neon
Yeah.
ginger.
Yes.
Like it's teetering towards albino.
I'll give you too much. Yeah.
And then there's a sort of,
yeah.
and then there's a sort. Sorry, everyone. And then there's like the sort of more, like
Nuanced, a bit chic. Yeah.
But my mum had that, so it's
Thank
it's
you.
the genres
Yeah.
in the fam.
That's what my parents are. Neither of them are ginger. And then I just, first baby. And apparently my dad's first thing he said when my mum pushed me out after 28 hours of labour, he went, "It's got red hair." Didn't check the gender, wasn't like one on bridge, really good effort. Like,
And also, here's your Christmas present. It's a voucher for laser hair removal. Speak to Barry. He's giving me a deal.
He was right though. You were ginger.
there we were, yeah.
You
he
were
was. He's
absolutely
very
spot on.
astute. Very astute.
You're not getting a toupee.
Why?
I don't want you to.
Ben, if I ever come back on this podcast
Yeah.
You can.
and I'm booked in,
Yeah.
we'll both do it at the same time. We'll come in. All right?
Yeah.
Let's make that promise to each other and I'll pay.
Deal.
Look at his little eyes like
Deal.
so. Oh
Do you
my
know,
God, you
though-
made him so happy.
Do you know, though, you'll have to shade. See, for me,
It's not as big
that
a
is
deal,
literally
it?
like the three hairs that are like,
Clinging
like
on.
the last people in a nightclub, like, maybe I'll find love. I'm just down to the absolute hobgoblins and stragglers down there. So
Yeah.
that's an easy, for you, you'd have to commit. That'd be
How old were you when you fully shaved it?
11.
Oh, were you even allowed to
I was
use a
in the
razor?
EDL. And it was,
you've
no.
got to,
Yeah, I was
Trying to fit
23.
Oh, right, okay.
Fine.
Oh no.
I
I'm 23 yesterday. Not yesterday, Monday.
Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that gives shivers down my spine.
That's all right.
It's happening.
It is happening, isn't it?
Just lean in.
But what?
Book
okay.
me in for the podcast again,
Oh my
please.
god! Oh my god!
We will come
100.
in.
And we'll wear
like,
wigs.
Beautiful.
Oh,
my
stunning.
God.
Yeah.
Or we don't. We wear bald caps.
I own
Like
a
we
ball
s-
cap.
Yeah.
That's the end of that. Me and Emily watching
So
Firefly.
cool role
Have you
play.
seen Firefly Lane?
Oh,
you seen Firefly Lane?
Yes.
One of the women gets cancer and goes bald. And Emily just looked at me halfway through and went, "You'd be a terrible cancer patient because you'd look terrible bald."
So you went out and bought a bald cap.
So then Emily bought me a ball cap off Amazon and made me try it on. And that's the end of that.
Do you know what? Can I just say, have I met her because I really like the sound of her?
She's
You've met her?
great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
my
she's dark
aunt, yeah.
hair. Yeah.
My beautiful Em, yeah.
She was at the karaoke.
Yeah, that was
Karaoke.
nice,
Yeah.
Cancer.
Cancer. Sorry.
Smooth.
Sorry. Yeah.
Cancer adverts, bit much. You know why? I think, honestly, I get that Macmillans and all of the charities need to make money.
Yeah.
And I understand that. I think there should be an embargo on Sunday mornings having them on TV because you are messing with vulnerable people.
Yeah.
This was 15 years ago. I drunk gin with Jonathan Mayer. I don't know. You work with Jonathan Mayer, who is
No,
he's like
Ex-Prime Minister.
ex-prime minister.
That's John Major, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. Very different story. I remember drinking gin with John and Norma
I
Major.
love that he wasn't called him Jonathan.
I actually know it was Jonathan. No, it wasn't John Major, no.
John
It was
Mayer, the
Jonathan
guitarist.
Mayer. No, it was John Mayer. Yeah. No, it was Jonathan Mayer.
You've really fucking lived, Dan.
Imagine if John Major was comparing the Frog and Bucket every 2 months.
He's got to make money
Incredible.
somehow, bless him.
He's got some stories.
Okay, so Jonathan Mayer.
We had a night on the gin, and we had a good time. A couple of my other mates were there. So when I lived in Manchester, and we had a flat, and we were really close to the Frog, and we went out to get booze, and he exclusively got gin. I went through the cans that I had quickly. Someone else was drinking beer, so we were down to a litre of Gordon's gin. Gin. And I got wasted on gin and tonic, which I like. I like a gin and tonic. G&T is
but the next
G&T is
day.
the hangover is so woeful and emotional.
It's emotional. Yeah.
Gin makes me
Honestly.
cry.
Because actually, tonic is anti-nausea, so I actually don't feel too sick the next day, do you? Because of
I
the quinine.
didn't feel sick.
But it's the emotions.
I felt like I'd come off my antidepressants all at once.
What's
Like
Mother's Ruin?
Lord above. I was a wreck. And then an advert came on for Macmillan's. And I started crying. Now, I haven't cried about my real life for ages. Recently watched Meet Joe Black and wept like a fucking,
Dan,
like a
that
Palestinian
film,
widow.
I'm like,
Too much. I said that on our pod as well. It's way too much.
When I watch Meet Joe Black, I do this cry. You know, when your nostrils are like going, you're like,
So you know the one where you involuntarily like...
Which one's Meet Joe Black?
oh, I think I've talked to you about
Yeah.
it. And Brad Pitt.
Which one
The
by
Brad
the-
Pitt with the Jamaican accent.
It's honestly worth watching for that. That people think it's naff. I think it's absolutely spectacular.
Unbelievable.
It's so good.
Unbelievable.
No, sissy, you're going to be Ari. No, dirty man. Why you going to do? You're going to take me to the doctor. No, sister. It's unreal.
This is 2 weeks in a row that we've done Brad Pitt's Jamaican accent.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because everyone should know about it.
It is, because we were talking, yes, it was.
But the film.
Oh, God.
Film, there was a bit.
Don't.
Spoilers. There's a bit towards the end.
Oh, don't.
God. Brad Pitt is death. And he's decided he wants to have a little look around. He wants to just experience. So he takes a body, which is Brad Pitt's body, and then goes and
would
attaches
take that
himself
body,
to a
wouldn't you?
guy.
Oh,
to a very.
sorry, did you say Brad Pitt's death?
So Death has decided he wants to like look around to understand what all this like life and this love is about. So he
Oh man, I can't even hear myself. No, I have no idea that this is.
Well, better. He's like.
How can I even know it's offensive? I can't hear it.
He was deaf.
And he Anthony Hopkins.
It's deaf. So he thinks he's speaking in an American accent, but he's not.
Jamaican.
Oh man, I hope this doesn't age badly in the future.
That's a film.
He goes and has a wander around with Anthony Hopkins, and Anthony Hopkins knows he's going.
Yeah.
But he gives him more time, and that's the deal. Show me around for a few days, weeks, months, whatever, and I'll give you more time. And towards the end of the film, and it is hammy. I get it, of course. Beautiful. And there's plot holes all over the shop. The major one is right at the end where they finally he goes, I think everything's here is done. He walk over the bridge, and like so death to take them. This is what would have to happen. They just go, and Anthony Hopkins' body is left. But also Brad Pitt's body would be left because death it's just the
Has
soul that he's
taken
taken.
on his physical form.
The daughter, towards the end of the film, works out she's fallen in love with Brad Pitt.
Yeah, you would.
Works out
Yeah, that makes
that
sense.
Brad Pitt is death. Sort of can't accept it, but sort of works it out. As Brad Pitt comes over the bridge, Anthony Hopkins is now dead. On the other side of the bridge, at his 60th birthday party, comes over the bridge, right? She realises that her dad is dead and that Brad Pitt is death, but now she gets it so much that she's like, holy shit, you're the guy from the coffee shop that I met initially, and I'm in love with you, but fuck it. And then goes, I wish you could have met my dad. And then they walk back to the party. Dad's dead on the other side of the bridge. Anyway.
There's going to be a Hopkins body
Anyway.
by the bridge.
Regardless of
Okay,
the
it's an
Jamaican
unbelievable
accent and that stinking plot hole. Oh God, I wept. I
Dan,
wept.
My head's
I
sore.
lose it. That's one of my top 5 of all time, mainly because of the soundtrack a lot, but also that scene. Do you know? This is a real insight into me, and this is probably the most embarrassing thing I've ever said.
It won't
You
be.
know, no, you're right, it isn't. The scene where Anthony Hopkins is on his PJ with her and his and he asks her about love, and he tells her like what love is and what it should feel like. Sometimes I just watch that. I just watch it.
Like
I just watch it on Anthony Hopkins doing
lightning
monologue.
strikes.
Like a whirling dervish.
Yeah. Oh,
and
it's
if you
so
haven't,
good.
if you haven't.
I
Well, you
watched-
haven't
I
lived.
watched
If you
it
haven't
and
done it,
went,
you haven't lived.
So I did the thing. You know when you go, and you sort of go, I built that up so much that I couldn't hold it in anymore. This is on the couch. This is 10 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Laura's just in the kitchen, and I went. And I started laughing at myself because it was so ridiculous.
Too much.
But I had, you know, when you're like, oh, cut. Brilliant. Recommend it. Please watch I really want that film to have a resurgence.
So do I.
Even if you hate it, you have to see it for Brad Pitt going like, don't worry.
Also, it would be such a great thing for him to come back now that he has like 7 non-white children. Like it would
So
just
many
be
non-white
such
children.
a great
Meet
thing.
Joe Black again. The sequel. This
Back with a
time,
vengeance.
Dan's back. And he's doing the whole thing in Jamaica.
Joe Black, or is he?
I can tell you that's the end of that podcast.
That's the end.
I can feel it.
Oh, Dan, you're a dream. You are a dream amongst
Thank
men.
you so much.
Well, an absolute
per-
pleasure.
You're the best.
Absolutely wonderful comedian, a wonderful person,
Oh, well, that's very good.
and
gonna cry
a
again.
great pint.
Oh.
You are one of my favourite people to drink with.
Oh, well, we've had some really fun
We've had
times,
some
haven't
really
we?
fun times. and
Talking
you're
about
great.
going out
Yes.
for a pint, can
Yes.
I plug something?
Get yourself
Well,
done.
the Have a Word podcast is doing a massive stand-up tour. So me and Adam and some of the very finest comedians in the land are doing about 12 or 13 shows around the UK and Ireland. The tickets are at haveawordpod.com. That is going to be some of my favourite comedy I've ever done in my 23 years of being a stand-up. But I also want to plug, because I think all of your lot are good eggs.
Yeah, they're good.
And
They
I
are.
think I am putting on, because Adam's been doing these country all-dayers, and I've watched him do like 4 or 5 of these, and they've been brilliant fun. And I went, and I'm not into country music. I dislike some of it. Some of it's like honestly great. But I've had such a good time there that I realised that if I put on the dance event that I've been thinking about doing for the last few years, and also I don't do drugs anymore, so it's not an excuse for me to get off my biscuit tin on ecstasy, because I don't do drugs anymore. I can genuinely put on a dance all day, like an all day dance party, a day rave, and sell it to Have a Word fans and like the fans of this podcast and the people who follow me on Instagram, knowing that it's just going to be a really inclusive, fun party. 2 till 9 at Bongo's Bingo.
Genius. It's
Content.
absolute genius.
It's on Easter Sunday, so everyone's got the bank holiday off. I'm getting emotional. I'll do the rest in Jamaican. You gotta come see it. It's a day rave. I'm calling it Dan's Anthems, and it's going to be 20 quid a ticket, flat. That's everything. Johnny Bongo's DJing. My mate Felix Leiter's DJing. Charlie, who works with us at Have a Word, is DJing, and I'm doing a curated DJ set where I pick all the tunes, and it's going to be fun dance music like Groove Armada and Chemical Brothers and stuff that you know. Like old club classics. So if you're not banging to dance music, it's not like us trying to be cool and play
it's still
the most
music
recent
that-
techno.
yeah.
It's just all good dance music and an all day party. And if you've got little ones, it's finished at 9 and you can just go home. If you've got a social life, you can use it as the start of your night. So tickets are on sale on our Patreon on Wednesday, the 29th of January, and then they'll be made public on, I think, Friday, the 31st of January. And I would like everyone to come because I'm
Great.
excited. And also, it's a big
you
venue, and if I don't
should.
sell everything, I'm going to look at it.
Oh my God, you're going to
I want to go.
Please
I wanna
come.
go.
Man,
I wanna
when
go.
you finish church, you can go.
Yeah, obviously it's Sunday.
sorry,
I've got
it's
to
Easter
pray.
Sunday. Yeah, you do.
Holy Communion, and then a day
Of
rave.
course. Yeah. Start wine, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, and then we're straight in. I'm gonna go because that sounds sick.
Oh,
so I'm gonna be
I'd
there.
love you
I
guys
would
to be there.
I would
Love
love that.
Right,
gonna
gang,
get
gang.
crunk.
This has been the best. You are the best. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
coming on.
everyone.
We love you heaps.
Goodbye.